Welcome back to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. How we doing, Sid?
Doing fantastic.
Is victory
Cause
feeling good for you over there?
let them know, let them know.
All right. So last week, Sid outscored me 2.5 to 4. We ranked each of our picks 1 point. There was one pick that we both got right, but different, and that was the Arkansas game. Sid picked Arkansas money line last minute, and I picked Arkansas points. So I took half a point for that pick. Sid took one full point, and we both missed on Oklahoma State. We both took Oklahoma State. That one lost. Um, the other one that we had a disagreement was the Clemson game. I took Clemson minus 20. Sid said that NC State would beat the spread. They did not. And then what really took Sid away was USC in
A
Michigan.
2 point game.
Oh my gosh, USC, how could you do that to me? I believed in you boys. I gave you guys extra points.
He gave me
I
9 points.
believed in you guys, and you guys let me down. You let me down.
That's the big house, man.
Dang. Anyway, congratulations to Michigan. You guys were better than I thought. I'm still hesitant to say that you're a top 15 team. I do think that you're top 20, top 25 for sure, but I don't know about top 15. We'll have to wait and see. I guess Michigan keep proving me wrong. All you had to do was beat Texas, though. I'm still pissed that you couldn't do that. But anyway, let's. Also, Sid and I figured
Challenge.
out the challenge. So if whoever loses the week of picks, and we're gonna pick one game to count as 2 points, if that makes sense. It's basically a two gamer. It counts as two games. And the loser of the total points, not just that game, you could still lose that double score game, but like hit everything else. The other person misses and still be fine. But it's basically if you get this one, you're in a good position to win. The loser will be eating a serrano pepper. We don't know for sure if it's going to be the whole pepper or just a bite. I'm kind of leaning whole pepper. Might as well, even though I'm going to be the first one to
Well,
eat
yeah,
one.
you got to do it next week,
So
regardless.
I think we're just taking a bite. No, I'm just kidding. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna aim to try to take a chunk of the whole pepper, but I haven't had one of those in a very long time, so we'll just kind of see. We'll see what happens. It should be fun. We're gonna do that same challenge again this week. If Sid goes down this week, we will both be eating one next video, which would be interesting. Now, if Sid wins again for the fifth week, fourth week in a row, whatever it is, whatever streak he's on, I'll be eating two of those suckers. I don't know if I'll be eating them at the same time. I don't know if how we're gonna do that, but there's a possibility I'll be eating two of them. So be sure to tune in if you see my pick go south this weekend.
Let's keep it interesting actually. Let's just
Mm.
make it you just have to eat one pepper even if you lose next week.
Okay.
But if you lose next week, you also can't have water or milk throughout the episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Throughout
that's
the
making it
episode.
interesting. Okay. Cause dude,
Instead
I
of
was
two
getting,
peppers,
I was collecting milk, man. I was getting ready.
instead of two peppers, no milk, no water, nothing for the whole episode.
All
And
right.
if you win, then we both just eat a pepper and we can have water, milk, whatever.
And have a good time.
Have a good time and still be dying.
Oh man! So next week's show, that's going to be a fun one. Throughout the rest of the season, it's going to be a fun time here on that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. So be sure that you guys continue to tune in, and if you haven't already, Please throw a like on our video if you find this entertaining, find our picks interesting at all. If you think they're trash, comment down below. Let us know why you think they're trash, and we'll see who's right on game day. Please subscribe to our channel if you want to see more of our videos, and I guarantee you will moving forward whenever it comes to these challenges week to week. And if you're a Razorback fan, we're reaching out to everybody on these videos, but obviously we're Razorback fans, so we're doing videos on reactions to Razorback games and predictions for upcoming games. So check out those videos as well. Let's get into it. Sid, let's look at this week 5 top 25 slate. We'll start here. Some of these games, it's just going to be quick, done. Others we're going to spend more time on. We're going to start on Friday. Let's start with the Friday game, Miami hosting Virginia Tech. To me, this is one of those quick ones. I'm just going to take Miami. I think Miami's going to win the ACC. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. Miami's at home. They should take care of business. It's a 20-point spread. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it moving with Miami.
Yeah, we're just doing a pick 'em on this one. This one's not counting towards our list. This is just to make sure we have it logged. We picked Miami in this one. This one, however, will count. This is Kentucky at Ole Miss. Let's aim for the spread here. So the spread is Mississippi or Ole Miss, 17.5 points. This one to me is very interesting. Ole Miss should roll them, you would think. But Kentucky, they've shown up to some games. They showed up to Georgia, and they did not show. I guess they haven't shown up to all their games. They did not show up against South Carolina. Let South Carolina put up 31 on them. But then holding Georgia down to only 13 points is interesting. Ole Miss is not playing a competent defense yet. This could be interesting. I am going to stick with Ole Miss 17.5. I'm going to say they beat the spread. I wouldn't be surprised if I changed the channel and tuned into this game and I see it as a close game. But if I have to pick one, I got to stick with Ole Miss beating the spread until they don't.
Man, I wanted you to take Kentucky spread so bad.
I know. I saw you over there. You were itching for it. You were like,
I was like, please take the Kentucky spread. Please take the Kentucky spread. I mean, you talked about it. That like them almost beating Georgia is huge, and but I also think it was one of those weird games that always happens where Georgia likely overlooked them and were rattled, and it happens to every team. And I think Ole Miss knows that they need to take care of business, especially after that game. But have some Kentucky fans that I know, and wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Kentucky does win. But it's just at Ole Miss, and I can't do it as much as I wanted you to do it. As much as I wanted you to do it, I gotta say Ole Miss covers the spread.
I saw you got so animated over there
Like,
whenever he's doing. So yeah, I guess we're in agreement on that one. That's going to be 1-1 going in. We'll both take the points on this one.
Yeah.
This one's going to be another quick one. We're not going to count this one. Michigan hosting Minnesota. I'm just going to say Michigan wins this. You're not. What do you think, Sid? Do you want to go into this one very much? Like,
no, it's at Michigan.
Yeah.
It's not going to be close.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that interesting either.
I got Michigan, winning this game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this one is a very interesting game. Oklahoma State going to Kansas State. Kansas State got absolutely obliterated over the weekend by BYU. Oklahoma State, they fought till the end, like they always do. They fought to the end against Arkansas, and when it looked like that Utah was just going to run away with this game, Oklahoma State came storming back, scored 16 points in the fourth quarter to bring it to a 3-point game, but they did lose this game to Utah. I think Oklahoma State is going to play all 4 quarters in this one and not play until, or they're going to play until the end, and they're going to play hard until the end, and they're going to upset Kansas State at Kansas State. I don't know by how much. I think it will probably be a 1-score game, but after watching Kansas State against BYU, I think Oklahoma State is a better team. I think that they, like I said, I think that they play until the end, and that's why I'm going to take them to upset Kansas State.
Yeah, -5 is tough. I mean, Oklahoma State proved, even though they lost to Utah, they proved that they can be in it, unlike K-State last week. And I think that -5 is tough because as much as I want to take K-State, don't know if I can take them winning by 5. And I think this will be a close matchup. I don't think they win outright. But okay. As much as I want to, hold on. K-State at home, 5. I think Oklahoma State covers that. I think K-State still wins. And I don't know if you had K-State winning or Oklahoma State winning.
I have Oklahoma State winning outright.
Winning outright. Okay. I think K-State wins outright, but Oklahoma State does cover the spread.
All righty. This will be an interesting one.
It's a change-up.
Yep. All right. BYU, who we just finished talking about, they are on their way to Baylor. By the way, Sid, I think that you got a little out of focus.
Gotcha. There we go.
Lean
back.
All right, now that we got Sid back in focus here. BYU going to Baylor. Baylor, what a bunch of choke artists. You guys had Colorado, and you let them come back and win. After BYU annihilated Kansas State, I got to take the team that can close down a team and win. I'm going to take BYU to also upset, to have an upset on the road. Another game where the away team comes in and wins. So BYU beating Baylor, and I think BYU could even beat them by 2 scores. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think BYU dominates the game for the most part.
What was the spread on this?
Baylor by 3.5.
Okay. I think Baylor wins this. I think Baylor, I'm not looking too much into that Colorado game. And after we had predicted Colorado State being able to beat Colorado, I'm not counting out Colorado. So I'm thinking Baylor is just a off game. And I think Baylor can beat BYU and 3.5. I just say, yeah, Baylor wins this.
So do you think that they beat the spread, or does BYU get? Are you taking plus 3.5 BYU or Baylor minus 3.5?
Yeah, I'm taking Baylor minus 3.5.
Okay. All right. That's another interesting one where we're disagreeing on. All right. The Wisconsin USC game, The only reason that I find this interesting is the spread. USC minus 15.5. I think Wisconsin can beat that. The thing is will they? USC to me did not look super impressive last week. Um, Obviously because they lost, but just overall, I'm still not convinced that again that Michigan is a top 15 team. I don't think that USC should have gotten manhandled the way that they did most of that game. They did have a chance to win the game, USC did, but it still mainly was controlled by Michigan the majority of that game. Wisconsin has some issues, some quarterback issues and things, and I know USC is at home. Man, I'm going to take Wisconsin to beat the spread. USC will win, but I think Wisconsin beats the 15.5 point spread.
15.5 points is tough.
I know.
15.5. I really want 10 even. Give me like just under 10.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean I want to take Wisconsin because I have a feeling.
Yeah, I know. It could get ugly. I know.
It could get very ugly. And I just don't think Wisconsin's that team this year where as good as they have been in the past. And
man, dude, isn't it odd? They haven't been good since Brett Bielema.
Yeah.
And now Brett Bielema is taking back Illinois.
Yeah.
Wow. As Hog fans, we all know about Brett.
I'm gonna keep this simple. I think USC gets it. USC is able to beat the spread. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to go for it. I think I like your pick, or it could just be a massive.
Yeah, I honestly, know this is a floor. It can either be this, like Wisconsin beats the spread, or they get absolutely obliterated.
For the sake of the Serrano pepper, I might go with the same take as you, because this one's a toss up for me, and either we're both wrong or we're both right. For the sake of the Serrano pepper, this is.
Oh man, you're afraid of that pepper, aren't you?
This is you can't.
Oh man, you're letting the pepper change your picks.
I'm letting the pepper decide this pick. I can't do it. All I'm looking at is not USC. I'm looking at the pepper.
Okay.
And
all right, we're both taking Wisconsin to beat the spread. All right, on Wisconsin.
On to the next one. Get me away from this.
Oh my God, Louisville at Notre Dame.
That's a good one.
Oh, Notre Dame is favored by 6.5. Dangerous spread.
Yep.
So this one is interesting because if Louisville wins this game, the ACC, the perspective, what we think of the ACC completely changes. Because if Louisville wins this game, they now add more depth to the ACC. If they go in and win the ACC, I do not believe that they play Miami. Let me double check. Okay, they do play Miami. So they play Miami and Clemson. This makes the ACC a lot more interesting. And from having one ACC as a playoff contender, this could add a second ACC team as a contender, in my opinion. If Louisville loses, obviously it's going to do the opposite. It's going to drop Louisville and anybody that plays Louisville. So very interesting on what happens. And then the other thing, if Louisville wins, is it drops Notre Dame out of the playoff race. I think that maybe if Notre Dame loses this and somehow wins out after this, there might be a sliver of hope still to get in that playoff. But it's pretty much it's pretty much gutted at this point. If Notre Dame loses this game, their hopes of getting into the playoffs are pretty much done. So very, very interesting matchup here. Playoff implications, definitely. With that being said, I got to take Notre Dame. Man, I don't know if they win by 6.5. This is where it's going to be tough. I am going to take them. I think Louisville beats the spread. I'm going to say Louisville beats the spread. I think Oklahoma or Notre Dame wins the game, but no, I'm going back. I'm taking Notre Dame to win this spread. Notre Dame gets the spread. They win this thing. They have their backs against the wall. They really have to win. The crowd is going to show up, and the crowd is going to be anxious. I just think that they have more to lose in this. They're going to be fighting harder, and they're at home. Yeah, Notre Dame 7.
Yeah,
or 6.5. Sorry, over 6.5. So yeah, by 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think they're going to be fighting Irish. They're going to be at home and 2:30 p.m.
Yep.
Afternoon game. 6.5 spread is tough, and there's a shot Louisville has of covering that, very much so, in how they played this season. But I think the Fighting Irish do cover the spread. I did want you to take Louisville covering the spread. I think Fighting Irish, just being able to take care of business. Yeah, 6.5.
So many good games this weekend,
is
man.
tough.
I know.
And I think just give me Irish and let me move on.
All right. You move on, Sid. All right. Let's get into some interesting SEC matchups. Oklahoma going to Auburn, Alabama. Okay. If Oklahoma goes to Auburn and loses, that is going to create a lot of speculation about who is Tennessee. Is Tennessee legit? Is that Oklahoma win by Tennessee a legit win? How good is Auburn? How good is Arkansas? Since Arkansas just beat Auburn at that place, it's going to be really, really interesting. If Oklahoma wins, what's going to happen to Auburn and their reaction? Oklahoma's favored by 2 points in this one. And in our video where we reacted to the Arkansas Auburn game, I alluded to something about Hugh Freeze and something that has been going on lately. Over the weekend, he first at the end of the press conference at the end of the game, he said he started calling out some of his players, and he did take some accountability throughout the press conference, but he also blamed players for throwing it to the other team. And then a former Ole Miss quarterback who played under Freeze came out, started talking some smack about Freeze, calling him out for some things. Then the very next day, he goes and says that If Auburn would play Arkansas 9 more times, they would beat them 9 of those times. And I think that Hugh Freeze may be playing chess here instead of checkers, where he does a 180 of blaming his team to he's trying to rile them up and say that these boys can play against anybody and that they're going to be ready and that this crowd should show up for this game. And if you guys watch the Arkansas Auburn game, that stadium was electric. And if Auburn can get their faithful back in that stadium for another try, I think that Auburn can definitely win this football game. And there's something about this game that my gut is telling me Auburn's going to win this football game.
Enough to give this game a 2-point game?
We'll figure that out at the end. Because I have another game too. There's 3 games that I'm thinking on for this week that could be the potential one. I don't really want it to be this one because I don't want to follow only my gut here. But
I want it to be this one for that reason.
I know you do. I guess I know you're itching over there. I saw you moving around in your chair. I saw you wiggling around over there.
Get that 2 points.
I'm taking Auburn here. We're not doing 2 points on this one, dude. No. But I'm going to take Auburn.
I will take the 2 points. You're taking Auburn, right?
I'm taking Auburn.
I'll take that 2-point spread, and I'll take Oklahoma. I'll take Oklahoma covering.
Yeah, that's an easy one to if you have Oklahoma to just take the spread. That one's a pretty easy one. Do you want to add on to why you're taking Oklahoma?
Yeah, I think you talked about it a little bit. Hugh Freeze playing chess checkers, sure, but I think Oklahoma is gonna want to come in for that revenge. They're gonna be on the opposite spectrum. They probably heard Hugh Freeze talk smack as well on other teams, and they think they're hot. Pardon my language, shit. And and that's why I think Oklahoma will come in and will embarrass them again. And then I want Hugh Freeze to come out again and be like, if we play Oklahoma 9 out of 9 times next week, or 9 out of 9 times, we beat them every time.
He won't have to say it because they're going to beat him. Oh,
exactly. Well, you had Auburn, so that's why I think Oklahoma is especially after losing by 10 to Tennessee. I think they can cover that too.
All righty. All right, let's get to those Heartbreak Hogs and those Texas A&M Aggies. All right, Sid and I did a deep dive on this game in another video. We can put that link in the description. I guess we'll just kind of do a quick summary of who we're taking in this. For me, I think this is going to be a 1-score game, and because it's going to be a 1-score game, in my opinion, I think that A&M has the edge on 1-score games in this matchup and is going to win by 3, 30-27. And so that means that I'm going to be taking Arkansas +4 in this. And I think that Arkansas will, at some point in this game, be up by multiple scores. The thing is can Arkansas hold the lead? And until I see it happen against A&M, I just can't from a neutral perspective, I can't pick Arkansas to win this game as much as I want them to win. So, especially for the Serrano Pepper here as well, I've got to take A&M to win this game, and then I'm going to take Arkansas plus points at +4.
Yeah, I changed it up last week on you. Except this week, I'm going to hold true to what I said in the other podcast, another video, where I think last game in Jerry World, Arkansas is able to come out and Bobby P is able to go 4-0 against these A&M Aggies, and Arkansas wins 27-24 by so I got Arkansas money line on
Winning
this
by a
game,
field goal.
winning by a field goal.
So we both
And
have a field goal winner here.
right, right. This will be fun.
Um,
This will be a fun game, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I hope I'm wrong on here. I'd be okay to mark that one wrong, but yeah.
Yep. Alrighty.
All right. So Mississippi State at Texas. This is going to be quick. I don't even want to mess with that spread. It looks like it dropped. Last time I saw it, it was at 39 points. So now it's at 38.5. Texas is going to win this. I'm sure that they probably will beat the spread, but I don't want to stick too long on this one, Sid. I assume you probably think the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Ohio State at Michigan State. It's somewhat interesting that Michigan State is the home team, Ohio State is the road team, but Ohio State has kind of had a slow start, but I do think that they're stacked. There's no reason that this game should be close. There's no reason that this should be a loss scare for Ohio State by any means. It may end up being close. Just these games can be interesting. Sometimes Ohio State doesn't always come to play, but they don't lose. And Ohio State's definitely going to win this. If I were to guess, I'd say that they beat the spread. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. But Sid, what do you think about this one?
You got
Do you think
Ohio
there's
State beating
more?
the spread, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do, but I don't know if we should. Do you think this one's interesting enough to make it on the list?
I know that. I mean, the Ohio State Michigan rivalry. I know this is Michigan State, but
Yeah.
the Ohio State Michigan rivalry is always huge, and then them just playing at Michigan State. Those Michigan fans and Michigan State fans are sometimes interlude, and it's Saturday night game at Michigan State, and the spread being that high, 24. That's spread being over 3 scores is why I want to say Michigan State covers at home. And so I
Yeah,
will.
you're making me rethink about it too.
Nope, too late. Move on.
The Serrano, dude.
I don't know. Honestly, this is
Yeah,
just,
I'm kind of thinking the same thing because
this is just a
let me
gut
look at
feeling.
Ohio State's real quick because, okay, so Marshall was close and then they pulled away. I mean, Ohio State has one convincing. Yeah, I'm going to take Ohio State by 24.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I'll take Michigan State covering.
Okay. All right. Fine. Do you want to add that one to the list then? Oh yeah, because I mean we're adding it because we have different picks.
Right.
Okay. Stanford at Clemson. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. I think Clemson whoops these boys. What about you, Sid? Meaning that they're going to beat the spread by 22
Yeah,
and a
I'll
half
take-
spread.
Yeah, I'll take Clemson. I don't trust Stanford.
Okay. We're not going to have that one on the list. That one's just a why not just throw out who we think is going to win. Iowa State at Houston. I really don't want to spend too much time on this one either. I think Iowa State should win this one convincingly. I think that they beat the spread by 14. The 14-point spread. I think they beat that spread.
Yeah, actually, now I'm thinking about even Clemson. Anything can happen. I still don't want to. Let's just not skip over that. Like skip over that game. Same with the Iowa State Houston game.
Yeah.
That night game, anything's possible. But let's just say Iowa State takes care of business and move on.
Okay. So here is the big boy matchup that we may have different takes on this one as well. Georgia is favored by 2 going into Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Okay. Last year I was a big fan of what they were doing at Washington, and I thought that Kalen DeBoer was a fantastic coach. I think that what he was able to do with that team, with Penix and everything, What they were able to do to Texas was very, very impressive. I know they didn't finish the deal in the national championship, but when your team is Washington, it's harder to do. The odds are stacked up against you. When Saban stepped down, there were two coaches that I thought would be coming to Alabama. The first one was Kiffin. I'm sure a lot of other people felt that way. The other one was Kalen DeBoer. There was just a feeling I had. I was like, if they don't get Kiffin, I wonder if they go after DeBoer. He is a really good coach. And a lot of people since that happened have been sleeping on Kalen DeBoer. I think that they're going to be really, really good. And all people are talking about in the SEC is Georgia and Texas and Tennessee, teams like that. Alabama is not getting talked in the same way. I think that DeBoer has these boys ready to play, and I think that Alabama wins this football game.
Interesting. I was just in Georgia last weekend, and obviously those boys swayed me. And there was an interesting bet that was actually taken last weekend. Where I wasn't a part of it, thankfully, but the bet you'll find interesting as well was $1,000 for one way if Bama wins this game and wins the championship. This guy gives
championship or SEC championship?
Nope, Natty.
Okay.
That guy gives $1,000 to the Georgia fan. Or if if Georgia wins this game and not the Natty, just this game, he gets $100.
Interesting.
He gives. So I think Bama fans are crazy. First of all, just.
Yeah, that sounds like a free $100 or a high likelihood of it.
Exactly, it sounds like a free $100, and I think it is. But
and then if Alabama loses that game, he would get $100, right?
No, nothing. If Alabama loses that game, well, yeah. If Alabama loses this game, then yes, he still gets.
But what if Alabama loses the game and wins the championship?
He still gets nothing.
Yeah,
It has to be a 2-for-1.
Wow.
And I think there's just so many Georgia fans I met over the weekend as well, and those Georgia Bulldog fans they're very passionate. So is Bama, but I think this particular game, I think Georgia last week overlooked the game, and just because they were looking forward to Bama.
Yep.
And we've talked about this numerous times. It happens. It was a fluke game, and I think Georgia comes in hot this week, and
they're going to beat that 2-point spread. They're going to beat that 2-point spread.
They're going to beat that 2-point spread.
All right. I was thinking this game that we could do the Serrano.
Okay.
Since we,
I agree.
Yeah.
Not the Serrano, but wait.
Or not the. I mean the 2 point.
Yeah, 2 points.
Yeah, this one's a 2-pointer. Just because it's so close, I'm picking Bama. You're picking Georgia. Now, if Georgia wins by like 1 or something, that's going to make this really weird. Well, yeah, because I'm taking the upside. I'm not taking plus points.
You're taking money line. Yeah,
I'm taking the money line. So if Georgia wins by 1, we're going to have a problem.
Well, then we both just get 0 points.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we both just get 0 points, and we move on. And
okay, if for whatever reason that scenario happens, we need a backup 2-point game.
Backup 2-point game? Okay.
The Arkansas game.
No, the Auburn-Oklahoma game.
No, I know. I knew that's what you were going to try to do. You're trying to weasel that one in there. Well, I hope it backfires on you. Fine, we'll do that one.
Yeah, let's do that one. It's
all right.
It's a closer,
the Auburn one is the backup game.
Because it's also a 2-point spread game.
But that's not the main one. The Auburn one may not happen. This is only if Georgia wins by 1 point.
I know. It's just
or 2.
Arkansas was a 4-point difference.
Yeah,
And
or 2 because the spread is at 2.
yeah.
So if Georgia wins by 1 or 2 points, we're gonna have to move back to the Auburn game to do the 2.
I think it makes sense
Yeah.
because you have A&M or Arkansas still covering the spread. So let's just go to you either winning. If that 1 point happens, then you go into Auburn outright. Me going to Oklahoma outright.
Right. All right. So Illinois at Penn State. Ooh-wee. Okay, this one's really interesting. Penn State should take care of business here against Illinois. Illinois did have a good win on another podcast that I am on, the Momentum Sports podcast, where you can also check me out there. I brought to light that in this matchup, Nebraska, when they played Illinois, Nebraska has not beaten a top 25 AP poll team since 2016. So Illinois beating them, take it with a grain of salt, if you will. I think that Illinois, to me, is going to come in here and beat the spread, but they're not going to win the game. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Giving the 19 points, giving 19 points to the 19th ranked team. That 19 is tough, and I think Penn State clearly wins this game.
Mm-hmm.
However, Illinois, they have a shot at the 19. I think with Penn State, I was looking at Penn State almost losing to Bowling Green, and I'm gonna go with. Let me think.
The Serrano Pepper's talking to you.
Well, Serrano Pepper, I don't think is talking anymore because we've already had a lot of disagreements today, more than usual. I think
this one you have to be in here. This is a ranked matchup.
Yeah, this one is for sure in here. I just think the Serrano Pepper is not talking.
Okay, I see.
My thinking in this because we've had so many differences today. And I don't know if I want this to be also part of our difference or not yet. I'm thinking Penn State. I think Bowling Green honestly is underrated. Bowling Green, almost wins, and Bowling Green is an offensive team that puts up a lot of points. And I think the Illinois just barely beating Kansas. I think Penn State could clearly be the better team.
Yeah.
But 20 points, almost 20 points is tough. Give me Illinois covering. I know that was a lot of buildup for nothing, but
that's
a lot of buildup for nothing. But
all right, LSU is on upset alert with South Alabama this weekend. No, I'm just kidding. LSU, let's not spend too much time on this. They're hosting. They should win this thing by 22 or more. Do you agree with that? Okay.
Agree. And let me go change that pick to Penn State covering.
Oh, okay. All right. It looks like the wait was worth it now.
Kept thinking about it, and
all right. Yeah. So when we were talking about the LSU game, you were still thinking about the Penn State game.
Yeah.
All right. We're changing it. Sid's picking Penn State by 19. Interesting change of events. So let's do Boise State hosting Washington State. This is one of those that I don't know if I want to spend too much time on. Well, you know what? Let's do this one because Washington State is undefeated. Boise State has one loss. They have a close loss against Oregon, and I believe that was at Oregon.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know about this game. I'm just.
I was gonna take Boise by 7.5. If you had a different one,
I don't know about this game. I think.
all
Let's
right.
go
Well, we
to
won't
the.
count with we won't
Let's
count it, but
go.
just give your
Yeah,
thought. Like,
keep. Yeah,
what do
I
you
think
think? Without it counting, what do you think?
Boise State at home with 7.5 line. I think Boise State is fine and it does win. 7.5 line is a lot, so you can. Yeah, I'm gonna still take Boise State covering.
Okay. Well, let's do
See the
Utah. Hmm?
Utah, Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking Oregon, UCLA, but we can do both.
Yeah. I wasn't going to spend much time on either of these, just kind of give a pick. In some of these may end up being games, may end up being upsets even that we don't really go over. But some of these we just want to spend more time on, and others we don't. But we want to kind of give a quick pick. Um, Utah, I think, is going to take care of Arizona. They should take care of Arizona. They looked great last week, and yeah, I don't see why this should be too close.
Be a close one, yeah.
Yeah. It is a Big 12 matchup, so that may make it interesting. I don't know too much about both teams, so I don't want to get too specific.
And Utah's only,
Utah's
only an 11-point favorite as well.
Yeah.
So it could be a good matchup, but
Yeah.
let's just agree with.
I'm just
Utah.
gonna say Utah wins. I don't know the spread
Right.
or whatever, but I just think Utah's gonna win this one. Same thing here with Oregon going to UCLA. I think that Oregon is going to win this. They should beat that spread. Do they? We don't really know. I don't want to get too into it. It's one of those. It's a much bigger, better team versus a not so good team. So,
Yeah, Oregon.
You probably don't
wins.
disagree with me here. You probably agree with that take on Oregon.
Yeah, UCLA is not that good, at least this year. So I think Oregon. Oregon takes care of business. 25.5 points is a lot, but since we're just picking a game, we're not picking the spread. I'm just giving Oregon.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. If you made it this far, please stay tuned in for our next videos, especially these weekly top 25 predictions and matchups, because the Serrano Pepper challenges.
It's coming.
It's going to be fun. So if you've gotten this far, please throw a like on this video. Comment down below your thoughts of our takes. If they're trash, if you like them, whatever. If you want to watch more Arkansas content, check out our other videos. And please hit that subscribe button as well if you enjoy our content. And we'll see you guys next time.
Get ready for Ross to cry next week. And
no.
Get ready. We'll see y'all next time.
All right. Heartbreak Hogs podcast out. Later.